What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we are going to be discussing some things about HBAR, Hedera hash graph. I'm going to go over some fundamental things in the beginning, and then we're going to quickly shift into the price projections, price predictions, using charts and technical analysis to forecast where the price is going to go over the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. I was going to play this clip, but there isn't really a whole lot to hear in this. I mean, what they're saying in this is that Hedera Hedera's hashes are post quantum ready. It says that on here, but what he says is that they're preparing for it, that they're developing things for it. I don't know if they're ready yet. I don't think that's what he says in this, but maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But the fact that they're working on this serious issue, which is the threat of quantum computers becoming readily available to hack any network. The thing is, it's not just unique to crypto. This quantum threat. It's a threat to your bank accounts. Everything's digital. 80% of transactions are digital without crypto. You know what I mean? Like it's not just something there. There's going to be some kind of resolution. And at first, whenever it comes to quantum computers, you guys, it's going to take a lot of power. It's going to be obvious who has these capabilities, and it'll be more or less easy to track. Maybe not from a transactional standpoint, but from a energy output kind of standpoint or intake standpoint. Anyways, the fact that they're working on post quantum readiness is pretty cool. If we're looking at this here, 3 hours ago, they said, "Did you know Hedera delivers fast instant settlement with approximately 3 seconds in finality?" That's awesome. That's actually pretty fast, to be completely fair. This I thought was pretty cool that they reposted 6 hours ago. A UK first in digital finance. We issued, transferred, and securely held tokenized money market funds on Hedera, used as collateral in a real world FX trade between these two here. So that's pretty cool, right? It's not groundbreaking things, but kind of. It's a first step to the advancement of finance as far as digital currency is concerned in the UK. Advancements are good. We love to see advancements, and just talking a little bit about that there. I'm sure a lot of you are aware by now. This is on the 4th, but Hedera has been selected for a WYO stable for WYO stable, Wyoming's frontier stablecoin. The first U.S. state issued stablecoin. Yeah, Wyoming. For those of you that don't know, Wyoming is actually a very crypto-friendly state. Did you know you can mine bitcoins in Wyoming tax-free if you use the excess energy that's like burned off from harvesting oil? I forget the technicalities of it all, or what like the proper definitions of it all, but it's something like that. Like whenever it comes to harnessing oil, there is some excess energy that's like burned off. If you attach a generator, if you use that excess energy that you're burning off and power a generator with it to mine bitcoins, those are tax free. So it's just kind of interesting stuff there. Not that it's renewable, but if it's energy that's going to be burned off anyways, you could literally use that to mine bitcoins, and that is more sustainable. Anyways, totally different, not related to HBAR. Let's talk about HBAR here. Somebody requested it in the live stream yesterday. I was intending on making a video specifically for HBAR anyways, so here we are. 22 cents is the price right now. 5 days, 8 hours left in this week. That sounds about right. 22 cents now. A little bit of a shakeout right across the board over the last 24 hours. We've seen a bit of drama coming into the price action here. I don't believe that we're done going lower. Perhaps I should rephrase that. It's very possible that this was the low, but I don't believe that we're moving up strictly from here. We could go a little bit lower from here first, maybe form a higher low, something like that, and then come up. It is completely possible that we see a lower low. After all, we do have a lower high, lower low trend. I can't draw a straight line to save my life. Give me a second chance here. I normally do better on the second chance. Okay, don't we all? Lower highs, lower lows. Might we come down? And in fact, what I would expect is that if we are anticipating this to break out to the upside, which I am personally, I don't know about you, but I'm expecting that this breaks out to the upside. I think we're in a bullish phase of consolidation, not a bearish phase of consolidation. What I would expect here is that when it comes to interacting with this trend line, that we probably don't. We probably reach for it and miss it, right? Maybe what we've done already is exactly that. We don't have to go lower. But if we do, I doubt we go too much lower is all I'm trying to say. It might be some kind of fake out between here. People are going to think that we hit this trend line. I doubt that we do. let's say that the worst is realized and we do hit this trend line, or we even go below this trend line. At the worst, that would be our area for support. But I'm really thinking that we do hold this overall zone as support. I don't think that we go too much lower. I want to look at the short-term stuff and see how valid of a thought that is, and we'll zoom back out here and run with what we find. Okay, so 1 hour time frame here. Looking at this, I don't know if you guys can see, if you have eyeballs or not, but to me, this does look like a bear flag, right? It's the bearish hockey stick of death and demise. The Canadians are at it again. They're going to slam the price down the ice here. If we're looking at this here, the RSI, it's in a bullish posturing right now. You are at the areas that you've rejected before. You're grinding out the 50. I would kind of think that you want to go down. You are in a bullish posturing, but as soon as you give up that 50, as soon as you break down from here, you give that up and you'd like to go lower. So just be aware of that. It is possible you could go higher. Maybe you see prices as high as 23 cents, but don't get too excited. Don't get exuberant over that. It's very possible we go to 23 cents and then we come back down still, okay? Stochastics are in an area to find support as well. It looks like we've tried once, twice, and now we're coming back down. So maybe we don't find support. It makes me think that we will go lower. The MACD is right at an area to reject as well. You've been green for a while. You haven't done much with it. I think we're going lower. I very much do think we're going lower. If this is a bear flag, where would we measure it? Would we measure it from here? Do I measure it from here? I don't know. Let's just try it from here and see. Because it's a little slanted, right? I don't feel comfortable about the measurement there, but we're going to be overly bearish and just assume the worst, okay? So if the worst happens, we're going down to 19.6 cents. Something around there, give or take a little bit, right? A little bit lower than this, but that's okay. It can happen. Do we have anything that lines up with that 19.6 cent area? Let's see. From a low, assuming that this is the high, 20.7, 20.3, nothing really at 19.6. I don't know if we go to 19.6. So something a little bit lower. I might not have had the proper measurement. Maybe it's from here. Maybe it's not a bear flag at all. But to me, it would seem as though we have lower to go. At the very least, it would seem as though this is a bearish phase of consolidation right here. And the indicators all, I think, agree with that as well. If we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour RSI is bearish. Absolutely it is. Hold on, you guys. I need some water. Somebody give me some water. I need lower lows. We don't need lower lows. We have lower lows and lower highs. We're clearly in a downtrend here. It looks as though we're at the point where we would reject and we'd come back down. What we're looking for is some form of bullish divergence, a higher low here, a bounce off the oversold zone. Worst comes to worst, we get a lower low, and then that's it. Sometimes you take out that bullish divergence, and as soon as you do, that's when you actually move up. So however presents itself, I would assume this next phase down will be the last phase down. Now, does that mean that we see a lower low? No, we could see a higher low. But to get bullish divergence properly, to actually have bullish divergence, you would need a 4-hour time frame to close below about 21.7 cents. 4-hour time frame, close below 21.7 cents. Bullish divergence. Start to build, start to grow, phenomenal things. The stochastics here are pointed to the upside. We have higher lows and higher highs, and I will say the stochastics on the 4-hour might be the best argument to counter all the bearishness on the 1-hour time frame. The RSI disagrees. It makes me think that we go lower, but the stochastics here, man, it's a good look. I got to say it's a good look, but can we persist, or are we just going to reject here and come down? That really depends, you know. Typically with the stochastics, you just kind of move up. You don't do this. You don't see this kind of behavior. Doesn't mean that it can't persist, but it is a decent look, I will say, on the stochastics. The MACD still bearish, the RSI still bearish. So overall, 2-to-1 bearish versus bullish. I think we're going to lean to the downside. And again, assuming that we go lower than this low, maybe this fib is better represented from a low to a high here. Yeah, 8861272. Go to the 2272. That'd be at 20.5 cents, 19.8 cents, somewhere in that range. Okay. I'm going to put a line here. I'm going to put a line at both of these real quick because we're about to zoom out to the daily. I want to see where these lines fall in correspondence to the downward sloping trend line that we have on the daily here. So looking at the daily time frame, we've got this coming down. Yeah, so perfect, right? If we come down, we find support here or in this area, that's going to be above this trend line. If we find support, you know, sometime by the end of this week and it's at the base of this area, maybe right at the trend line, perfect. It kind of goes exactly with what I was thinking. Likely, we are not going to hit this trend line. We'll find support just above it, and that'll be the signal. That's what they call a partial decline, which is actually a very bullish thing and suggests that we're going to break out to the opposite effect of this range. So we're going to break out to the upside, yeah. Maybe. We'll see. I'm thinking we do, but time will tell. Daily time frame here. Looking at the RSI. We are near an area that we like to bounce. Right? We've bounced here before. We've bounced here before. We've bounced here a couple times. We can go a little bit lower and still bounce. I think we're okay if we go a little bit lower. Who cares? It's not a big deal. Stochastics look like they want to come down a little bit, in all fairness. And the MACD wrestling with the zero here. It's neither bullish nor bearish. We're not really getting a serious read off of this. So there's bullish things, there's bearish things. We could allow for a little bit more bearishness. I think that we do. Does it mean that we go below this low, though? I don't know. I don't know. I'm having a really hard time with that, right? I know we've talked about the targets, right, at 20 and a half cents, 19.8 cents, whatever. We've talked about the targets enough in this video to know where they are, but that doesn't mean that we're going there. It's completely possible that we do hold this low as support. It's completely possible that we come down, we get a double bottom off of that, or a slightly lower low, but 20 and a half cents, 19.8 cents, somewhere in that area, that would be the lowest that I'd expect. If not, potentially we are getting set up for a higher low, and then we should be moving up over the coming days and weeks. I very much do expect that what we're in overall is a very bullish phase of consolidation within a very bullish phase of consolidation. Right here we had this move up, bullish consolidation of which we've broken out from, bullish consolidation here as well of which we will break out from. I think that we've got more upside to go. It's just a matter of time at this point. The breakout's inevitable. As far as like being quantum ready goes or any of that stuff, I don't know if that really matters for this cycle, but that will help promote longevity in HBAR in Hedera. But I think as far as this cycle goes, the only important thing really is not necessarily quantum resistance, but price action, right? And establishing partnerships, establishing connections in the financial industry, in the financial space, the financial sector, becoming utilized, merchant acceptance, use case, all that kind of stuff. Stellar Lumens, HBAR, XRP, they are all heavily in competition together. XRP's got a leg up on all of them, I think, but HBAR's got some interesting things about it. Stellar Lumen's got some interesting things that separate it as well. But I'm truly wondering which one's going to take the cake here. Which one's at a higher market cap? Is it HBAR or is it Kita? KTA might be a competitor too. HBAR's number 18, or is it XLM? I think HBAR has the higher market cap, right? No, Stellar Lumens does. So very direct competitors there. I would think that all of these tokens, XRP, HBAR, and Stellar Lumens, they all move up together. They all look like they're in the same kind of consolidation phase. So XRP just having its ETF launched, listed on the 18th, we could see a little bit of consolidation still between now and the end of this week, going into the end of the month. I still think that we're going to rip going into the end of the month, and if not, certainly in October, we're going to have some bullishness, and we should see new all-time highs by the end of October. Going even like the early parts of October, we should see some new all-time highs. I would expect that by the end of October, we see prices that are around $1.20 or higher. If we're not at $1.20 or higher by the end of October, maybe it's very early November. And then going into the rest of the year, we should be pushing higher for those $2 targets, those $3 targets, and beyond. By the end of this cycle, I very much believe that HBAR will see prices at $6.53, $9, and maybe, just maybe, even beyond that is possible. We'll see. I don't know if you get all the way up to $20. It can happen. I think that we've done the math, and it is doable. Let me look here. With its current market cap of $9.4 billion, yes, it is an attainable market cap. You absolutely could see it, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'm being too soft. I guess honestly, $20 is a very acceptable number, because that puts you around $100 billion in market cap, right? No, it wouldn't. That puts you around $1 trillion in market cap. That's right. Okay. Yeah, $20 is the maximum potential. $6.50 at the minimum by the end of the cycle. That's what we're thinking. I get it crossed with XLM and HBAR. I forget the target areas sometimes, but I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.